8 months ago, and I teach the advanced workshops here in New York. And then they have, as I said, in 20 cities across the country, but today we're using a Canon. Danielle just sprung this on me, so we'll...
Sorry.
That's all right.
I know I'm well enough to spring things. So.
Yeah, right. Pay for it later. I recently had to do a little thing. It was on TV a couple months ago on the news, teaching people in 5 minutes or less how to take pictures. So this is kind of perfect. I happen to have a printout here, so we'll just. One thing that's kind of important is just Danielle hit on it in terms of how many of you have cameras. A camera like this is so easy to have with you. Why the hell do you guys not have a camera? I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, it's like this one I think was maybe $350, but you can buy a decent digital camera for $100 now, and slip it in your pocket. Now again, this from the standpoint of a photographer, but I don't know why. If you're an artist or whatever else, I mean, if you're a painter, you should definitely have a camera with you.
I am going to further enforce this, that you are really thinking about your world around you, documenting it, pulling images, and your visual project this week is to do a photo essay. If you choose, there's also a paper, an essay question on photography that talks about documentary. But if you choose to do a visual essay, it's between 10 and 30 photos, and you're going out to, it's called the city, but I would like you to focus specifically on something small in the city. So, that could be a subculture, that could be a doorknobs all through the city. I want you to have a theme, and so, and then we'll put them on Flickr, so we can actually all share them with one another. So, absolutely, on the camera thing.
What, in terms of a photo essay, don't get scared. Like, don't think you have to go out and photograph bikers and crash, drag queen bars and stuff like that.
I'm sending you all to drag queen bars.
It's not that complicated. I mean, this right here, I did another lecture for some high school students a while back. But these photos here, I put, these photos are just examples that I threw in for them of what you can shoot on the street. I mean, you've got, quite literally, fire hydrants is a parking garage, somebody was walking around with an umbrella. This is literally right outside the door here. This is a neon sign that's sticking out, underneath the scaffolding. This is on the Staten Island Ferry. This is just some kind of parking garage. I mean, you can find stuff. The whole point in being a photographer, you don't have to go to Italy or to India or whatever. This is New York. This is just quite literally just down the street. This is some friend's aquarium. It's the whole point in being a photographer. Everybody. When I was a kid, when I was younger, my dad actually bought me a camera when I was 14, and I remember kind of making all these excuses, like I look through books and say, oh, I can't take that picture, I don't have this kind of lens. Oh, I can't take that picture, I can't go to Cambodia. And realizing that it was kind of really stupid, and I was impeding myself. Everybody has these issues, whatever the hell they are, everybody's got them in terms of what stops you from doing what you want. And that means, like for instance, my wife was giving me a hard time. We were going to see our accountant on Tuesday, and I hadn't done my taxes yet. And she's like, gee, I don't know, you've had since December 31st, It's like we all procrastinate. We're all really good at it. And that can apply to, how you talk yourself out of doing work, how you talk yourself out of creating art or something like that. I don't know how many times I've been either on a motorcycle or riding in a car, and you see something drive by and say, wow, I should really stop and take it out. and there's a lot of pictures in here that don't exist, the whole point is, as you're walking around, specifically doing this photo essay, but even any time, you should be looking at things differently. That's what your job as an artist or as a photographer is everybody's out there in the world, everybody sees, you know, this car driving by, but the point is you have to see it differently than other people, and then make your art, be it a photograph, painting, whatever, and show people, look what I can see, different than you. And it's not that easy, but in terms of accessibility to pictures, that part's easy. I mean, there's photographs everywhere. You step out the door, I mean, half the time, you know, the Panasonic workshops, they want me to take, you know, figure out some exciting place to take people. Half the time we just literally step out on the street, partly because it's winter, but you know, there's all kinds of interesting, weird-ass things going on out in the world. You know, people come from all over the world to visit New York. You guys live here. You know, all you got to do is just walk around and try and see things differently. See the
Not only
world.
that, a lot of you live in the Bronx, which is really interesting, too. You know,
Yeah.
I think for a lot of reasons.
The point being, don't be intimidated. Photo essay doesn't mean, you know, you have to do something weird and bizarre. And, you know, it can be, you know, if you have a younger sibling or something, you can follow them around for a day. You know, there's all kinds of pictures you can take without going to exotic locations or anything like that. Let me see if I can find something here. Yeah, for instance, my wife just had a baby, 6 months ago, and you know, he's kind of fascinating. I mean, you know, kids are sort of bizarre. You know, they're weird little humans, and you know, you can take, you know, take hundreds and hundreds of pictures if you've got a younger brother and sister, and then pull like the 10 or 12 good ones and make your photo essay. In terms of numbers of photos. I would, not to contradict Danielle, but I would say even 30 is too many to expect, given the time constraints and the assignment. I think 10 to 15 is more realistic. In terms of good photographs, you really, with photography, it's very important to edit yourself.
It's between 10 and 30 for the record. Just to clarify things.
Yeah. The point being, when I'm shooting something, like for instance, I mentioned on one of the erotic parties, on one night I might shoot 1,500 photos, but that is to get a finished product of say 20 photographs that are good, you know, really good, that I'm happy with. When I go to Bike Week, it's typically 10 days. It's like 10 or 11 days long, and I go for anywhere between a week and the whole thing. And I will shoot. I lost track of how many images I shot digital, but typically I would shoot between 100 and 200 rolls of film, you know, in that week. So if somebody's good at math, I don't know. That's the point being. Coming back from one Bike Week, I anticipate having, say, 20 exceptional photographs, maybe 100 good ones. That's it, you know. Because you want to take, like for instance, just to pick on my little son here for a second, all these pictures here, you know, they're all shot within the space of like, I don't know, probably about 3-4 months. These are a little older, but you can see just right away. I mean, this is, you know, him. This was actually a visit